Market's Edge on the early line Monday edition. Did you enjoy your weekend? Was it profitable for you? Did you invest your money appropriately here? Well, that's the goal of the show. And over the next half hour, we got you covered on hot topics, which includes the NHL, Major League Baseball, the NBA, and so much more. Sonny Rightside, and it's Joe Ranieri. The next half hour is ours, and we're ready to take control, Joe.
I'm ready to go, Donnie. I'm ready for a new week, round two in the postseasons there, NHL, NBA, some great Major League Baseball matchups this week as well. So a lot going on here.
Knicks fans, stay out of Philadelphia. Here's Joel Embiid.
I just have a message for our fans. Last time we played the Knicks, it felt like this was Madison Square Garden East. So we're gonna need the support. Don't sell your tickets. This is bigger than you. We need you guys. The atmosphere that we've had the last couple of games in Philly, especially the last one, pushing it to Game 7. I mean, we need all of it. I don't care if it's 70-30, it's Knicks fans. They travel, they're going to buy the tickets, and there's going to be, some people that need the money and that, probably going to sell tickets. But don't do it. We need you guys. We got a pretty good chance. We're going to need our support. We're going to need them to be extremely loud. If you need money, I got you.
Look at that, Joe Embiid willing to pay you to not sell your tickets at this point. It's hard to give up. Now, understand one thing about this. Like, a lot of conglomerates own those tickets, not just individual season ticket owners. And also, when you have a chance that, hey, I'm going to buy this for $200 and can sell it for $1,000 for a Game 3 or Game 4, sometimes you're going to give up that option. And New York Knicks fans, they will buy it. Why? Because they go, well, I got to pay $5,000 to get in the Garden. I got to pay $1,000 to get in down in Philadelphia, and it's a 2-hour ride or less. Or I already live in New Jersey; it's an hour away. They're going to buy those tickets. But the one thing the Philadelphia 76ers did, which you do see a lot, is if you don't have a local area code, or should I say local zip code on your credit card, they don't allow you to buy it. But that doesn't stop, Joe, the secondary ticket market, where it's like, all right, we can't buy it from Ticketmaster. We might have 5,000 tickets, but we can buy whatever we want on StubHub or TickPick or any of those type of sites.
Yes, the secondary market alive and well here, Donnie. It's, but the original source of the tickets is what the Sixers are trying to avoid is like, listen, don't buy them and then immediately turn around. But once they're on the secondary market, then it's, the market takes over at that point, Donnie. It's supply and demand.
Supply and demand, markets take over. Yes, contracts, no contracts. Let's get into it right now in the Kalshi Marketplace. Those Philadelphia 76ers, not home yet. They're on the road tonight to take on the New York Knicks. Roughly about a 7.5-point favorite here for those New York Knicks. But if we're looking at the Kalshi Marketplace, almost $2 million in volume so far. New York, Joe, a 70% chance to win this game, trading to a yes contract of 71 cents, which means if the Knicks just win outright, a $100 investment pays back $141. Currently at a 30% yes ticket for those Philadelphia 76ers to pull the outright upset, Joe. A $100 investment pays back $334. Knicks, Sixers tonight. MSG Game 1.
Yeah, listen, I think this is going to be, it's an ideal spot, obviously, for the Knicks, who come in 3 days of rest. You got the Sixers off of Game 7, which is a bit emotionally draining there. But I do think they have figured something out offensively. I think Nick Nurse and company have figured some things out in the rotations. They've kind of shrunk it a little bit. The bench has played better, but Embiid, Paul George, Maxey, and Edgecombe are starting to come into their own, Donnie. Don't forget, they missed a lot of opportunities to play with one another this year. And I think this is exactly what you just watched against Boston. Is what Philadelphia and the front office thought they were getting when they put this team together. And I think offensively, they're going to be fine. The question is defensively, what are you going to get from them here tonight? And the answer is, I don't think a lot. I think the Knicks likely point total over. I think the full game over. I think the points are coming for both teams in this one tonight.
Yeah, and by the way, the Philadelphia 76ers not really deep on that bench. You're going to need to ride those starters and see how it plays out. If you saw some of the pictures floating around of Jalen Brunson on his couch with a big slam poster in the background of him, if you think he has a big night in game number 1, 30-plus points for Brunson, that pays a $100 investment back $244. Another Game 1 tonight. And the spread even higher here, Joe. The Timberwolves going to take on the Spurs in San Antonio. If you're just picking the victor here on the Kalshi marketplace, a $100 investment on San Antonio to win outright is an 85-cent contract to the yes, which means a $100 investment, Joe, only comes back 118. Ouch.
Well, the big question here is what is going to be the status of the backcourt? Is Anthony Edwards playing? The fact that he went from doubtful to now he's questionable. And don't forget, we were hearing just a couple of days ago that he was not going to play at all. Now he's been upgraded to questionable, and he's also practiced. So, the only reason you're doing that is because you're anticipating he may go. But is this baked into the line? Because apparently it opened up at 14.5, Donnie, and we're seeing 12.5, 13s in the marketplace. So I do think that's telling you, or at least the market believes, that he is going to go in this one. How much do you believe in experience mattering at this point? Because San Antonio has none. Minnesota, you just watched what experience got them. It got them a series win over Denver. So I think it's too many points. I would not be shocked if this thing is much closer for the inexperienced Spurs than they'd like it to be tonight.
Again, if you're looking at not having Ant-Man in that lineup, more shots to go around, you take a look there at Julius Randle. He's going to shoot between 15 to 20 times tonight. If you feel you can get 20 points or more, even as the underdogs maybe in a losing effort, a $100 investment, Joe, pays back $186. Let's flip it over to Major League Baseball. Hey, the Dodgers picked up a victory on Sunday. Congratulations, going against the lowly Houston Astros today. The favorite, it's always going to be the Dodgers. On Kalshi, a 64% chance for the Dodgers to win, and that yes contract now up to 66 cents here. Dodgers with an outright victory over the Stros tonight, Joe. A $100 investment pays back $152.
Yeah, it's the struggle bus here for the Dodgers. Lost 4 straight, finally got one yesterday against St. Louis, but again, they didn't score a ton of runs. They only scored 4 runs. I can't remember the last time Ohtani's hit a home run. The Dodgers have not had the power bats working their way. This is a tough spot here. Meanwhile, Houston absolutely has been hitting the ball well. You need Yamamoto to keep the scoring down until the bats can get hot. I think he does that. I think we're looking at an under in this spot here today, Donnie.
By the way, also, like St. Louis Cardinals playing good baseball right now as well. Who would have thought that this early in the season, hanging around in the Central? But let's flip it over to maybe 2 teams that could meet in the World Series if we might get a mild upset. The Braves got the best record in baseball, 25 total wins, taking on the Mariners, who can throw pitchers at you on a day-to-day basis that are ultra-talented. And Seattle, the home team, Joe, is also the favorite here on the Kalshi marketplace, currently trading at a 57% chance to win this game, and the contract up to 59 cents. So a $100 investment tonight on the Mariners knocking off the Braves, that would pay back 170. But Atlanta, great baseball team here, a little bit banged up with Acuna, as you know. If they're the underdogs tonight, look at what they pay back, Joe. An investment on them of $100 pays back $233.
Yeah, listen, it's unfortunately Ronald Acuna Jr. Is sidelined, right? So that's a big bat. Cal Raleigh, questionable to even play in this game here tonight. You got the rookie, J.R. Ritchie, who's been great, but he's given up some home runs. He's given up some walks here in a couple of starts, but he's also striking out plenty. So he's got swing and miss potential. It's an under ballpark, Donnie, and you got Logan Gilbert on the other side. Feels like an under to me, and that's the way I'd look in this game.
How about this? Anaheim Ducks and the Vegas Golden Knights, round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs out in the Western Conference. The favorite in this one, no surprise. Vegas is home. They are the favorite. Kalshi Marketplace currently listing here a 60% chance for them to win this game, Joe, and a 61% chance as the actual contract. If they win, a $100 investment pays back $164. Ducks, Golden Knights getting underway tonight out in Vegas.
Love Vegas here at home in this spot, but I love the over because goals are coming in this series, especially here tonight, Donnie.
And by the way, take a look at that Western Conference here. You want goals. You got 15 of them last night in a game number 1. Do we get 15 goals tonight? Well, probably not at that point, but entertaining action out in the West. Even if Edmonton, my squad in the West, is still not around at this point. We're going to continue to roll along. Prediction Markets Edge on the early line coming up after the break. Many...
process is closed. Let's call it out for this, right? And is it their fault? You could argue, they've been just besieged at Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like 2, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Scottie Scheffler, the best golfer in the world. How many majors will he win this year? And if he does get 4, Joe, that's currently trading at 3 cents. So a $100 investment actually only pays back $333 at this point, which is kind of insane when you ask him to win all 4. Joe, I told you already, sticking to my guns. $100 investment on no majors. None over the next 4 this year.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
You build teams in the second, third, and fourth round, right, Donnie? Yeah. That's where you build. That's where you get the depth. That's where you build the team. So teams looking for draft capital very much could be alive and well in this draft coming up because there's just nobody to mortgage the future for because you need your franchise guy. They're just not in this draft.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Get after it, people. Let's have some fun. It is Prediction Markets Edge on the Early Line. It's Joe and Donnie here on a Monday morning, and big series are starting, but also big ways to invest your funds here. Let's go back to the Kalshi marketplace. Now, sometimes we talk about, Joe, hey, do you just want to invest in the Knicks or the Sixers to win a game? Or how about this, a total, or just taking them on the point spread, or even a player prop? But the things that we love to say are, what are the announcers going to say during this game, Joe? If they say Michael Jordan, that's actually trading at 96 cents right now, or anything Jordan itself goes in. But I got to tell you, like you could say rookie, crowded crowd, injured, elbow trades, all that good stuff. I slide it all the way down, Joe, and I'm taking a look at legacy, which is currently trading at 15% in the yes contract at 19 cents, which means a $100 investment pays back $527. If they just say the word legacy, which means the New York Knicks and that legacy for Jalen Brunson, what's it going to be? But more importantly, I think it might come from a Sixers side of things, Joe, which means the legacy of Joel Embiid after they beat Boston, and can they get to the Eastern Conference Finals? Legacy, almost 5-1 right now in the Kalshi marketplace.
I like that. I mean, these mentioned markets are all sorts of fun, but they're also kind of some of these here, you're just looking at like, how did they not say this? So, I don't know. It feels like with these two teams, a tech or technical is absolutely going to be dropped in this game here, especially if Scott Foster is going to be the ref. So we got to wait to see who the ref assignments are going to be. But it feels like that's an actual pretty safe. I think ankle's an interesting one too at almost even money, Donnie.
Yes.
What is the chance that they're going to say, oh, could be an ankle rolling? It feels like that could very well be coming also.
Great stuff, no doubt about it. Also, the same series here between the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks. Told you can, invest in the single games, but how about the series itself? Sixers are the underdogs. They're the 7th seed here going against the 3 seed New York. But if we do look here, New York currently trading on the Kalshi marketplace at a 69% chance to win this series, and a yes contract, Joe, that's listed at 71 cents. So a $100 investment, if you take the New York Knicks to win this series, would pay back $141. Or would you like that upset there with the Philadelphia 76ers at a 31% contract here? How about that one?
Well, listen, at this point, the value is in this market with the Sixers at 31 cents to win it. I don't think this is a 5-game, gentleman sweep here of the Sixers by the Knicks. I don't think currently right now between these two teams, there ain't a whole lot different going on here. These two teams know each other. They're both experienced. They both have experienced letdowns in their postseason careers, especially recently. I think this is going to go 7, and if it does, Donnie, at least 6 or 7. If it does, I'd much rather start with the Sixers at 31 cents and look for an opportunity to cash out if they win a couple of games early in this series.
And if you are the New York Knicks, you need a solution for Joel Embiid because Jaylen Brown's talking here. I'm like, we didn't have a solution for the guy.
It was tough. Embiid put a lot of pressure on us, like on all our bigs and our guards. Like, you know, we didn't really have an answer for him. We tried a bunch of different things, and you know, he's a big body. And he just, you know, he also was flopping around. He got some extra calls and stuff like that, you know, and they rewarded him for that. But, you know, that's the league that we're in. So, you know, I mean, that's all I got to say.
I love when a team is so salty right there. Flopping around, got the calls. Not as if it was just like a one-game series where it's like, hey, I think all the calls. You had a 3-1 series lead against the Sixers here. You weren't able to knock them out. Stop the madness here, Joe. But the Sixers do live on. They continue to fight. Did you know the Eastern Conference Championship right now on the Kalshi Marketplace, the favorite is those New York Knicks at 38% right now, and the Sixers given very little chance, Joe, at 13%. Obviously, Cleveland and Detroit in there as well. Are the Knicks far and away the best team left in the Eastern Conference for you, Joe?
I think they're the best all-around team right now that's left in that conference. I mean, listen, how in the world Toronto took the Cavs to 7 is beyond me. Detroit sneaking by Orlando is laughable. I mean, they're good teams, but this is all going to come down to styles making fights here. And right now, I think whether it's the Sixers or the Knicks, I think they're going to give either of those teams on the other side an issue here moving forward.
All right, let's also have some fun here, talking about the Timberwolves and the Spurs here. What could the announcers say in that game? You know, anytime I have Victor Wembanyama in a series or in a game, I want to talk about wingspan, Joe. Look at how big that guy is. The wingspan is ridiculous. That's trading at a 72% yes contract, Joe. If they say wingspan during the basketball game here in game number 1, $100 investment pays back $139, Joe. Give it a wingspan for the tickets.
Yeah, and there got to be some sort of alien reference too, no, Donnie? And aren't we looking at that? I mean, there's got to be something in there that's going to refer to that. And yeah, listen, I think MVP is probably a pretty good one too that's going there. But how do we not do triple-double? Also feels like that's going to be just cash it and be done with it.
Exactly. Skip around here a little bit. The Western Conference champion here. We think it's going to be between San Antonio and Oklahoma City. Major favorites in their first-round series. But OKC, Joe, 67% trading as the favorite here to win the Western Conference. San Antonio at 30%, and nobody giving any effort here to the Lakers at 4%, and those Minnesota Timberwolves at 3%. How about that?
Well, they're giving effort in the no market. There's plenty of effort there that the Lakers and Minnesota won't get by. But, yeah, listen, I mean, I wouldn't sleep on Minnesota because Denver certainly couldn't put them away. And they had the 2 best players on the court and couldn't get it done. This is where it's going to be interesting. Yes, you got Wembanyama, but you got plenty of experience and grit on that Minnesota side. That's going to be tougher than I think people realize for San Antonio.
And by the way, if Anthony Edwards does come back at any time during the series, you're not really asking again, okay, but if he comes back and is playing at a high level, why not? And that 3% could turn into 4%, 5%, or 6%. If you currently have a contract here on the yes that Minnesota can win the West, it's only 3 cents. $100 investment pays back $333 there. Excuse me, $3,333. So for my money, maybe it's worth a flyer at that low of a price if they can steal a game 1 or game number, or you can send it back 1-1 to Minnesota. You might have profitability already in your pocket. Pro basketball champion, Joe, again, coming down to the 2 teams in the Western Conference. OKC, 58%. San Antonio, 22%. The East, not getting a lot of love with the Knicks. Only 9%, Joe.
To me, grab the San Antonio Spurs at 22 cents. You don't need them to necessarily win it. You need the market to adjust in their favor over 22 cents.
Adjusting to the markets, yes and no contracts. We do it all. It's Prediction Markets Edge on the early line. We'll be right back.
The process is closed. Let's call it out for this, right? And is it their fault? You could argue, you know, they've been just besieged at Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like 2, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Scottie Scheffler, the best golfer in the world. How many majors will he win this year? And if he does get 4, Joe, that's currently trading at 3 cents. So a $100 investment actually only pays back $333 at this point, which is kind of insane when you ask him to win all 4. Joe, I told you already, sticking to my guns. $100 investment on no majors. None over the next 4 this year.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
You build teams in the second, third, and fourth round, right, Donnie? Yeah. That's where you build. That's where you get the depth. That's where you build the team. So teams looking for draft capital very much could be alive and well in this draft coming up, because there's just nobody to mortgage the future for, because you need your franchise guy. They're just not in this draft.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Right back at it on Prediction Markets Edge on the Early Line. Some fun that we like to talk about, different type of sports, but sometimes we just like to ask the public, Joe Ranieri, on where they want to go. Here's our Fade the Market poll. How about this, Joe? Vote now, it says. We asked with SportsGrid. What market do you want tomorrow on PME? Which we asked this question over the weekend. We could have 2026 primaries, the Met Gala, the PGA Championship, and mention markets here. Nobody wanted to mention markets. I don't know if they understand. The mention markets are, what are those announcers going to stay during a game at any time? And you can invest in the yes or the no of that. But the PGA Championship, just about what, a week and a half on the horizon? That's what the people want, Joe, and that's what we're going to give them.
Let's do it. I mean, it's right around the corner here. Can we find something, some market with who finishes second? Because I got a pretty good idea who might.
How about that? Top 2 in the marketplace, taking Scottie Scheffler seems like a pretty good bet. Aronimink coming to the Philadelphia area, the PGA Championship. No surprise, once again, on the Kalshi marketplace. Who is the favorite to win that tournament? It's Scottie Scheffler, Joe, at 18%, followed by Rory McIlroy, who seems like he's doing the Tiger Woods plan, only playing the majors because you can. And then there's Cam Young on fire down there at Doral over the weekend. John Rahm, who's worried about if he's going to have a job on a day-to-day basis. Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau, and away we go. But the favorite, as always, is Scottie Scheffler, Joe.
Well, of course he's the favorite. I mean, because he's always in and around up at the top there somewhere. And again, the problem for him has been the same, Donnie, for a while now. He has that one slow start, that early round where he doesn't quite get it all in rhythm, but his next 3 rounds put him in the top 3 to top 5. So you know he's going to be there on Sunday. So the question is, can he put 4 rounds together in a major to get it done this time? Right now, nothing's leading me to believe that, it's going to happen, because this has been going on for a while right now. So I would still look to fade Scottie Scheffler, unfortunately, until we can see a little more consistency out of him.
I told you, Joe, we've been talking for months here on these marketplaces, fading Scottie Scheffler to not win a major. Yeah, it's tough because he's always at the top of the leaderboard, but still hard to knock it down. And Scottie Scheffler not coming in as invincible as he once was, just rolling over everybody. He still is competitive, and he's still in second. But also, we told you last week after that Thursday round, only -1, 7 shots back. Watch what he does Friday. He went under his number on Friday as anticipated, which then leads us, Joe, if you don't want to take Scottie Scheffler to win it, How's he going to do in round number 1, round number 2, round number 3? Let's take a look at the leader at the end of round number 1. Of course, it's going to be Scottie Scheffler, but he is tied with Jon Rahm at 8.6% chance to do that, followed by Rory and Bryson. So theoretically, Joe, the players that we think can win this tournament will probably be competitive on the first day, but we know Scottie's MO. See what this course is about day number 1, then hit the gas pedal, but it's hard to track guys down when you're down 5, 6, 7, 8 shots after round number 1, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, Donnie. And I know a lot of guys, what they're starting to do is find the matchups, the matchup markets, and looking whoever is Scottie's up again, fade him. Because, again, it's these slow starts. He could literally have 4 other wins so far this year, easily at this particular point, had he actually not shot 71, 72 on a Thursday.
Exactly. And also, if you're looking at maybe Rory McIlroy laying in the weeds once again, like he was ambushing people at the Masters, a $100 investment will pay back $1,266 for Rory on day number 1 to have that lead. PGA Championship end of round 2 leader. Now, this doesn't say like, hey, you got to shoot a bad round Thursday and a great round Friday to get you in the lead. You got to have the lead here after round number 2. Schauffele, the leader, Joe, 24%, Rory 19%. You say to yourself, as I'm scrolling down right now, do we even have a Scottie Scheffler only 2? Joe, see, this is where it comes into the MOs of what we see. But Scottie Scheffler had the lead at round number 2. It's only at 15 cents is the yes. A $100 investment pays back $667. We always look to fade Scheffler. This looks like an opportunity where he plays decent or even has the lead on day number 1. He's probably going to have the lead day number 2, and you're getting a good price on that.
Well, we just watched Cameron Young also go wire to wire at Doral here. So nobody's in better form than he is right now with his second win on tour this year. He's had a couple of runner-ups. Yeah, there are some guys I would look to invest at the 15-cent mark here for sure.
And then here you go, right? Moving day on Saturday, and away you go. Leader at the end of 3, Jon Rahm, 39%. Scottie Scheffler rockets up the board again to 35%. Gerard, 34%, which is kind of interesting. Rory McIlroy, 30%. Now you get to the winners and the cream rising to the top. Scottie Scheffler's yes contract there, Joe. A $100 investment pays back $286. The leader overnight before the final round.
Yeah, I would have no problem with that market right now because we know, Donnie, as long as he doesn't shoot himself out of the tournament on Thursday, there's a good chance he'll be right at the top of the leaderboard heading into Sunday.
Rory McIlroy, 30% contract there. $100 investment pays back $334. If he's in the lead heading into Sunday at the PGA, BME. We'll see you tomorrow once again.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like 2, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Let me understand this, Joe. Are we going to have any broadcast games on TV anymore? It's all streaming?
You got to pay to watch here, folks. That's just the way it's going to be, one way or the other. And I'm sure this will satisfy, the FCC looking into the coercion that's going on here with the NBA NFL broadcast rights? Yeah, this is all par for the course, I think.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All these idiots out there sounding off on Tiger right now. See, it's so easy to go after a guy that's hurt. He's hurt. Whether you call it whatever you want. He's got a little bit of an issue he's going to fix. Okay? They're attacking. Attack. Why don't you all shut up and let him go do his thing? He had to leave the country to do it because of privacy? That's nauseating to me.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Now, I see him 15th, 16th, somewhere in that ballpark, and I think that makes sense, Donnie. I don't see him in the top 10. I really don't. I mean, when you look at, let's say, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you start going into that, teams like the Cowboys or the Vikings or the Chiefs, and could they take a flyer?
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.